Hello everybody, it is your boy, Pigskin Pete. Welcome to the latest and the greatest and the first edition of 2022 of Walking and Talking with Pete. Looking forward to many, many more walks and talks throughout the off season. We have 8 months of walking and 8 months of talking before we have our next live college football game. Of course, we do have the spring games. We have the NFL draft, lots of stuff to cover throughout the off season. All right. But what are we going to talk about today? That's all anybody cares about. The college football playoff expansion. For all of you out there that were really, really hoping for that expansion to happen either this year or maybe 2023 or something, it's not looking good for you. Now, depending on how long you've been around my channel, you know that I was not for the playoff expansion at all in the very beginning. I like the 4-team playoff. In my opinion, there isn't more than 4 teams that are good enough to win a national championship on any given year. And that's basically the bottom line. And I didn't want to ruin the regular season. I like the fact that you have to really go undefeated or you're allotted one loss, as long as it's not a bad loss to a bad team, to be considered for the playoff. All right, so that's what separates college football from the NFL and from every other sport, really. Is the playoff system that we have here. And it's much better than the BCS, and it's obviously better than the AP system, where they were just basically voting who the best team was. However, as time went on, I began to evolve and adapt to the idea of an expanded playoff for different reasons. Well, we always bitch about how the bowls are quote-unquote meaningless, and we get a lot of opt-outs in bowls if they're not in playoffs. And the problem is not getting better. It's getting worse, and it's going to continue to get worse as the years go on with the opt-outs. So the idea being, the more playoff games, the less opt-outs, and the more compelling bowls throughout the month of December. Not to mention you get some more fan bases involved that normally aren't involved, so that makes them happy. Probably viewership goes up. We saw a dip in viewership this year between Alabama and Georgia, and there's lots of different, theories on why viewership was so low for the national championship game. But the bottom line is, for whatever reason, there seems to be less and less interest in the playoffs and the national championship game this year. So the expanded playoff, whether it's 8, 10, or 12 teams, or 16, or whatever people are talking about, would affect that problem in a positive way. And you know me, I'm all about positivity, baby. But it looks like just what I said or warned, I didn't say it was going to happen, I warned that it possibly could happen, is that this expansion is not going to go as smoothly as previously thought by a lot of people. I mean, listen, I heard a lot of people talking about, it'll get pushed through, everybody wants it. I think there's 10 different commissioners that are voting on this. They all have to be on the same page. There's a lot of moving parts in this thing. First, you have to agree on how many teams in the playoff. Then you have to agree on, will there be or will there not be automatic bids? Then you have to agree on how the bowls will be structured. Then you have to agree on, will the games be played on home campuses or, again, like they've been doing, at these New Year's Six venues? And the most important thing these universities have to agree on, in their mind, it's the most important thing, is the distribution of revenue. Yes, the almighty dollar, the Benjamins. It's all about the Benjamins, baby. So getting a group of men who all have different interests as far as their universities are concerned, other than the money part, to agree on all of these different parameters is going to be easier said than done, and it's going to take a lot longer than I think people thought originally that it would happen. Now, my prediction is still that it will happen, just going to take a little bit longer, and there's going to be some negotiations that go on. I mean, most of these guys have business backgrounds, and that's what you do in big business. You negotiate. So you have some guys that want the 4. You still have guys on this committee or whatever the hell you want to call it that want to keep it at 4 teams. There's guys who want 8. There's guys who want 12. There's guys arguing over the bowls. There's guys arguing over the distribution of revenue. All these things that I mentioned before. So when it's all said and done, it might not be that 12-team system with the automatic bids and the first round buys and all of those things that we were talking about in the offseason this past season. And I'm going to be honest with you, because why wouldn't I be? It wouldn't hurt my feelings at all if it takes another 4 or 5 years to get this thing moving. I think the 4-team system is still compelling. Look, for people saying we need a change, it's always the same teams winning the champion. Nope, you can't make that argument anymore. Georgia helped with that. LSU helped with that. In the past 4 seasons, there's now been 8 playoffs and 8 college football playoff national championship games. In the past 4, there have been 4 different national champions. Clemson in 2018, LSU in 2019, Alabama in 2020, and now the Georgia Bulldogs in 2021. And with the name, image, and likeness thing, and the transfer portal being the thing that it is as far as recruiting goes, it's very, very possible that next year we'll see even another different champion. And what I would like for somebody to do is look at the final AP rankings. So there's no final college football playoff rankings that come out after the national championship, but after the bowl season's over, there is an AP that just came out a few days ago, right? Look at the top 12 teams in the postseason AP poll and tell me how many of those 12 teams would have won the national championship this year, realistically. And realistically, I'll go ahead and give you the answer for you. I'll give you the cheat sheet to this answer. The answer is 0. I'll take it to the next level. I will go so far as to say that if you think that all of the bowls are meaningless other than playoff games and you're not interested in anything that's not a playoff game, then you're probably not really a hardcore college football fan. You're what we call a casual around here. Anyway, I better stop while I'm ahead. I might piss some people off. I'm sounding like I'm lecturing children or something, you know, Professor Pete lashing the students. So anyway, I am interested to hear all of your thoughts on this. This is a very polarizing subject. It always has been, and it probably always will be. I'm not even sure that once we do make a final expansion, or another expansion, not a final expansion, there's still going to be people that don't like that. They're going to want more or something different or whatever. So I like the debate. I see the positives and the negatives on both sides of the debate, or hell, there's even 2 more sides to the debate. There's multiple angles. This is like a Rubik's Cube of a problem or a discussion. So please leave your opinions and or rants and or complaints in the comment section, and I would be happy to read them and discuss them with you. I'll see you guys soon. Your boy, Pigskin Pete, is checking out.